I was by myself. I was in my apartment and I was drunk and this was about like 8 years ago or more. I'm not quite sure, but I went outside of my apartment that was down off of like Richmond. It was like crappy apartments. But I was sitting on the staircase, and I heard my dad singing, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And because my dad's in a band, and he was playing a house party that was a street over, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "It's my dad!" And I like went over there, and I was totally drunk, and like I was fine. I didn't do anything crazy there, but like I got real drunk when I was there. And I was like, oh right, like I could just because my dad, it's his party, like I could do whatever I want. And then like after, like I closed the party down, like everybody left, and I was still like at the guy's house. I didn't know who he was. I had no idea who the guy was. And I left the house, and I went to the Stop and Go, and I bought some. See, it must have been early in the morning because I bought these scratch offs. I don't know when they sell scratch offs, but I got a whole stack of them. I had like $25. Spent like $25 on $1 scratch offs, and I was walking, and I was trying to scratch off, but I couldn't see in part. So like I saw this alleyway, and I went back in the alleyway because there was a light that was pointing down. And I was like started doing it, and then I noticed next to me there's this trash can that was filled with like paper towels, and I was like, huh. I was like, this might help if I light this trash can of paper towels on fire. So I lit the trash can on fire, and it just started blaring. And as it was blaring up, like I won like $100, and I was going, yeah! And I just kept on scratching off. And then I realized that the fire seriously just took over the building. It was like really getting really big, and so I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And as I walk out of out of the little, the alleyway, like there's two guys on their cell phones, and I was like, hey, who you guys calling? And they're like, we're calling the cops. And I was like, why? I was like, they're like, because we saw you go in there and start this fire. And I was just like, ah. And I was like, so I went back. I jumped a fence from the alleyway. There was a water hose. I got the water hose from some person's backyard, dragged it over the fence, put the fire out that I had started. It was like totally getting smoke everywhere. Like it took me a while to. I put the fire out. And then when I came out of the alleyway, the fire department was there. And like I think some guys like were like clapping or whatever. I was like, yeah, I put the fire out. Like I put the fire out. And they're like, hey, you ever thought about joining the fire department? Or, that'd be really a good thing. I was just like, yeah. I was riding by. I was like, those two guys right there were just standing there watching the fire. And I decided to go out and go put the fire out. I was like, I did a good thing. Like that. And then the guys are like, and the cops like come over. He's like, the guy said, you started the fire. I was like, I didn't start that fire. They're like, we got witnesses saying you started the fire. You need to come with us. And that was the first time I got put in jail for an arson charge. That was, but I got off of that. That was kind of funny though.